V-280 Valor YLB and DA Armley's next GN Assault TT Spiori. The U.S. Army has picked a tiltrotor aircraft to satisfy its future long-range assault aircraft program, one that offers major performance advantages over the existing UH-60 Blackhawk. The V-280 Valor can fly faster and farther than the Blackhawk, giving the Army greater opportunities for maneuvering on the battlefield, and the service expects the first ones to enter service around 2030. It could be enough reason to fully ditch helicopters for tiltrotors. For more than 40 years, the Army has relied on the UH-60 Blackhawk airframe as the service's medium assault helicopter. Adopted in 1979 as a replacement for the Vietnam War-era O-1 Iroquois, the UH-60 Blackhawk first saw action in the 1983 invasion of Grenada and has served in every conflict since. The most common modern version, the UH-60M, can transport 11 troops at a cruising speed of 142 knots, 163 miles per hour, for distances of 225 miles and back. The UH-60 has a self-deployment range. The range an empty helicopter can fly to reach the battle zone of 1,071 miles. After 4 decades of flying the Blackhawk, the Army decided it needed a new assault helicopter. In order to take advantage of the latest advances in aviation tech, the service realized it would have to migrate to a new design, one that might not even be a helicopter. The Future Long-Range Assault Aircraft (FLRAA) program, designed to field a replacement for the UH-60 Blackhawk helicopter, doesn't even use the word helicopter. The two candidates were the Sikorsky-Boeing SP-1 Defiant, a more traditional helicopter-type aircraft with 2 coaxial main rotors and a rear push propeller, and the V-280 Valor tiltrotor. The V-280, the winner of the FLRAA program, is a tiltrotor design similar to the V-22 Osprey. The V-280 takes off and lands with its propellers tilted upward, like a helicopter, then rotates them 90 degrees to a forward position, like a traditional propeller-driven fixed-wing aircraft. This allows the V-280 to take off and land vertically, like a helicopter, but fly faster and take advantage of the increased fuel efficiency of a fixed-wing craft. The result is a dramatic increase in performance. The V-280 was so named because Bell wanted to reach the Army's objective of a cruising speed at 280 knots, approximately twice that of the UH-60. It actually hit 305 knots. The V-280 can also carry up to 14 combat troops, a significant increase over the UH-60 limit of 3. The V-280 reportedly has a range of 500 to 800 nautical miles combat loaded, and a self-deployment range of 2,400 miles, in both cases twice as far as the Blackhawk. Speed and range will make the Army's air assault forces more effective on the battlefield. A faster aircraft will be able to reach destinations sooner, allowing air assault troops to seize the initiative from the enemy and keep it. Let's imagine U.S. troops embarked in V-280s are 322 miles from their objective and can fly 280 knots, or 322 miles per hour. An enemy force operating T-90 tanks and BMP-3 infantry fighting vehicles is the same distance from the same objective and can fly at 32 miles per hour. The troops in the Valor will reach the objective in 1 hour, while the enemy mechanized troops will reach it in 10 hours. Increased range is also a big plus. V-280s can fly farther while needing fewer forward arming and refueling points to refuel. Against enemies with long-range weapons, like the Russian BM-27 Uragan multiple-launch rocket system, V-280s can be based farther to rear, out of rocket range, while still flying missions. The increased ferry range would also allow the tiltrotors to fly missions across the South China Sea, hopping from one islet to another or across Europe. The V-280 can also be optionally manned, per the Army's requirements. In 2020, the test V-280 flew an entire flight profile, from takeoff to landing, without a pilot's hands on the controls. The Army believes that autonomous flight will help squeeze more missions out of VLRA, allowing aircraft to fly mundane resupply missions on its own while the human crew is resting. The war in Ukraine has been rough on helicopters, with a total of 81 destroyed on both sides. Do any of the V-280 strengths play to the evolving role of the helicopter/assault aircraft in warfare? The nature of the losses suggests the front line may have become too dangerous for aircraft due to shoulder-fired air defense missiles, such as the FIM-92 Stinger. Air assault troops may need to transition to the traditional role of dragoons, cavalrymen who dismounted from their horses in order to fight. This would mean touching down a few miles short of the objective, out of missile range, instead of directly landing on it. As a fast, long-range transport, the V-280's advantages still hold up. After all, if you can arrive at an objective 9 hours before the enemy, that still leaves plenty of time for walking. The V-280's operational version will complete the tiltrotor takeover of the U.S. military. The Marines, Navy, and Air Force all fly versions of the V-22 Osprey. The lone holdout has been, until now, the Army. The advantages of tiltrotors are so great, it's possible that the Pentagon will never buy another conventionally configured helicopter ever again, with the likely exception of the Coast Guard. The V-280 Valor probably won't keep its V-280 designation, since designations aren't drawn from performance goals. It won't keep Valor either. The U.S. Army tradition is to name helicopters after Native American tribes. With the full support of the tribe the name is drawn from. We'll probably find out its new name in 2025 when the first prototype aircraft is scheduled to fly.